What is it about these arcs that makes them so relevant today? These space arcs that we're going to be looking at. In history, we've had references to arcs, and one of the oldest references is the Sumerian flood legend. The ark legends are worldwide. You find them, there are actually over 270 flood stories, and those flood stories refer to these arks that preserved humanity, or parts of humanity, families and animals, two of each kind, that would be used to reseed the population. So this was a story that was all pervasive. So it suggests that there was something very real historically here, but was it really just about this wooden ark, very large boat that could hold animals and float on the surface of the ocean during a great flood? Well, we get to get an answer from different sources. Now, one of these sources is the remote viewing that's conducted on a regular basis by the Farsight Institute. One of their temporal projects was to look at Noah's Ark and find out, well, was this just a wooden boat built by Noah and his family to house a lot of people, to house a lot of animals and his family? Well, the result from the remote viewing was that it wasn't just a wooden boat. And this is the result, according to Courtney Brown, from the data that the remote viewers gave. There was a great flood and an ark filled with animals, and there was a Noah fellow, and a subject who Noah thought was God. However, after that, the story dramatically diverges from the legends as found in ancient texts. The ark itself was in fact a very large, high-tech structure, a spaceship that was mostly submerged underwater at the time of the flood. So we're talking not about a wooden boat, but we're talking about a spacecraft, a space ark that preserved Noah and his family, that preserved all those thousands of animals for a period of time during which the floodwaters would recede. So now we move over to the extraterrestrial seeders. Who are the seeders? So who actually built these space arks? Because the Council of Nine gives answers to this. In the Only Planet of Choice, this is really the first documented response to what it is that was involved in the construction of these space arks that appear again and again in human history to rescue people as one age collapses or ends and another age is about to begin. So this book presents the first discussion of 24 extraterrestrial civilizations that seeded humanity with diverse genetics in many races and ethnicities. So we have a multiplicity of races and ethnicities on the planet. That's not accidental. In fact, that is a result of 24 extraterrestrial civilizations with distinct genetic differences and cultures between them seeding humanity. That accounts for the diversity, according to the Council of Nine material. So this is what is written in the Only Planet of Choice. In relationship to us, there are 24 physical civilizations in another dimensional realm. Each is a total collective consciousness that oversees, and from these civilizations, physical beings have incarnated upon your planet Earth and at times have intervened when necessary. Very important. So these extraterrestrial civilizations, the 24 of them, have been involved in overseeing the establishment of distinct civilizations on planet Earth, that they have physically incarnated amongst us and have intervened when necessary. So who were they? Who were these civilizations? In the Only Planet of Choice, we're told that the civilizations included Altea, which is an extraterrestrial civilization that was responsible for the seeding and establishment of Atlantis. And earlier on I mentioned Enki and the Anunnaki. Well, we can see them as being one of these 24 extraterrestrial civilizations that established the civilization of Sumeria, or Sumer if you like. Another civilization is Hoover, the Hebrews, and they have stories about King Solomon, who had these incredibly advanced technologies. Well, what kind of technologies were these? Flying saucer craft, anti-gravity, new free energy devices. The ancient Hebrews had these kinds of advanced technologies. Now, one of the very fascinating aspects about the Council of Nine and its information was the involvement of Gene Roddenberry. In one of my earlier presentations, or several presentations in my books, I've described how the US Navy intelligence actually approached Roddenberry in the mid-1960s and told him about the Navy's secret space program and got them to work with him. So got him to work with them so that he could be part of a soft disclosure to prepare humanity for a future when the existence of a Navy secret space program would be revealed to the rest of humanity. So Roddenberry knew about the Navy secret space program in the mid-1960s, and from his Navy sources, he was told that the channeling information that Puharich was receiving through the Council of Nine that Phyllis Schlemmer was involved with was accurate. And so he got involved in that. So Roddenberry, and this is a fact, attended Council of Nine channeling sessions in 1974, 1975 in Ossining, New York. And he did ask many questions. And these questions are recorded in the book, Only Planet of Choice. So this is one of the questions he had. Gene, you mentioned that at some stage there might be a large-scale landing of the civilizations. What method of transportation would be used in such a landing? Are we referring to physical vehicles? Tom, and that's the Council of Nine, he's the spokesperson. Yes, that would be the nature of what you would call a physical vehicle. So this is confirmation that the 24 civilizations are moving around our galaxy or between galaxies in spacecraft. So Gene and Roddenberry went on. Can you tell me anything about the relative size and shape and so on? Would they hold a large number of people? Tom, there would be vehicles of different sizes and different designs. There will be some with the appearance of a glass top, but it is not in truth a top. It will just have its appearance. There will be also those that will remain in your atmosphere that are very large, that will then send out smaller ones. So he's talking about motherships that can hold large numbers of people, and that their design is similar to a glass top. Well, we're talking like a flying saucer or an ovoid shaped craft. So this is not new. In 1952, George Adamski showed one of these motherships hovering over the hovering between the Earth and the Moon, actually over the Moon, and you could see scoutcraft coming out of this cigar-shaped craft. So this is the famous series of photographs that George Adamski took back in March 5th, 1952. And you can see it's very, very compelling. It's right there. So we know this is happening, and according, so this is confirmation for what Roddenberry was being told back in 1974. So Roddenberry went on. It is of great importance for you to understand that your governments of your world of Earth have refused to publicly believe or convey to the people our existence. If there were an attempt by civilizations to land upon planet Earth in a mass situation, which in truth will come to pass in the course of time, the people upon planet Earth would panic, for they have not the understanding, the knowledge that we would mean no harm to them. So this is why it's so damaging that there has been no disclosure, because there are multiple extraterrestrial civilizations out there that have been visiting the Earth, but there are some very benevolent ones that are part of the creation of not just our present day civilization, but have been involved with the seeding of planet Earth multiple times, going back hundreds of thousands of years, with multiple civilizations. So just imagine the wisdom Imagine the detailed knowledge that they could share with us and the technologies they could share. But the governments hide that. The militaries hide that. And of course, there's even opposition to the extraterrestrial seeders, or these 24 civilizations arriving. Those lesser civilizations who have been viewing planet Earth, who have made contact with governments, and who are in beings upon planet Earth, and in this realm as well, would have warlike conflict with the 24 civilizations, or those who work with them. Therefore, that would mean a destructive device in the atmosphere of planet Earth. Humankind in its great fear would not have acknowledged or understood that there were those of goodness also. And so this was a major consideration that the extraterrestrial seeders had to take into account before they appeared. And back at that time, in the early 1970s, there was a plan for them to reveal themselves. And that plan led to Close Encounters of the Third Kind, the movie. That was really a soft disclosure initiative. That was to prepare humanity for this announcement of the seeders. So this was a White Hat initiative. Spielberg, he was being fed information by White Hats within the military intelligence community to put out this movie to prepare humanity for the arrival of the seeders. Unfortunately, it didn't happen for the reasons that I described earlier. So there are other sources that talk about the arrival or the existence of multiple extraterrestrial civilizations helping humanity. Alex Collier, he in the early 1990s learned from his Andromedan contacts about multiple extraterrestrial civilizations seeding humanity. So this is, of course, a completely different source to the Council of Nine material that I mentioned earlier. And this is coming from the Andromeda Council that Alex Collier worked with. And he was told about 22 genetic experiments. And so that's that's pretty close to what we were told, that there were 24 extraterrestrial civilizations that are running these genetic experiments according to the only planet of choice. So this is what Alex said in Defending Sacred Ground. We, as a product of extraterrestrial genetic manipulation, are possessors of a vast gene pool consisting of many different racial memory banks, also consisting of at least 22 different races. Because of our genetic heritage and because we are spirit, the benevolent extraterrestrial races actually view us as being royalty. When we immerse ourselves in literature coming from groups such as the Draconians or the Greys, humanity is depicted as kind of almost stupid, easily manipulated and easily controlled. But in fact, from a higher dimensional perspective, from extraterrestrial civilizations that are part of the seeders, humanity is genetic royalty because we have within us this incredible potential if we ever learnt to use it. So some groups try to dumb us down so that we can be controlled, while other groups like the Andromedans, like the Council of Nine, the Confederation of Planets, and other organizations try to uplift humanity so that we can access the incredible DNA and genetic information we have within us and the abilities we have.